the calm splits it in two. Pattison Ave, where the wild hearts run. Talking sports, games, battles, lost and won. Voices rise, break chains, ignite the flame.
Avery.
Fanatic thunder echoing the name.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome into the Pattison Ave Phanatics Show. I'm your host, Tom Kelly. With me, as always, Alan Andrukavich.
Yes.
You
Yo,
good?
what's up, fellas? My bad. I got distracted there. I apologize. Man, it's a Monday night. Lot going on. Birds are back. Dude, let's go. Let's go.
Technical difficulties come with the gig. Mike Fuji in the building. What's up, Fuji?
Training camp, MLB trade deadline 3 days away. Phils are currently tied 2-2 in Chicago with the White Sox. What's going on, fellas? Ed Kracz coming on tonight at 9 with some training camp, day 4. How's everybody tonight?
Just dandy.
Wonderful.
Good that everybody's in the building now. I can stop sweating as it ticks down from 8:20 to 21 to 22. I start to sweat a little bit, but it's all good. Look, we're back from a 1-week hiatus. Phils are rolling here. Took 2 or 3 from the Yanks. Eagles are. The Birds are back at training camp right now, and guys are flying around, getting loose. So jumping in here. Let me come right out of the gate. How about those rings? How about those Super Bowl rings, man? Has anybody seen anything like that? Now, I know the Chiefs had one that opened up, and I don't know, there was some kind of crap inside, but I mean, come on, man. They are impressive, aren't they, Fooch?
They're not rings or trophies.
Oh, they are definitely. Oh, dude, absolutely. You see how big they are? They're gigantic compared to the last one.
Our Reese, it was like taking up his whole hand.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Merrill might have little hands. Those are strong hands.
Come on, don't do Merrill like that.
Are you saying you have little hands? Are you saying you have little hands?
No, not at all. I got bear paws, brother. Let me tell you. tell you something right now.
I don't know. Look at guys' hands, so I'm just.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how much you boys pay attention to other podcasts out, but there is a podcast called $1 Million Worth of Game, with a host by the name of Gilly. And I remember growing up in Philadelphia. Gilly was part of Major Figures. He was a rapper, and everybody in my neighborhood knew who he was. And he's had a little bit of a run-in this week with one Cameron Newton, former Panthers All-Pro quarterback. Did anybody else see this?
I saw.
No, I did. I've not.
He went off on a rant for like 10 minutes.
Yes. Oh well. So Cam Newton was coming at my quarterback.
My quarterback too. I did hear about that. Yeah.
So Gilly came to his aid on his podcast, and apparently Cam Newton wasn't a fan of that. Cam Newton went back at him. Gilly goes back at him. The funniest part for me was he was calling him like a big goof and other words that I can't say on this podcast, nor am I allowed to say, period. But what are your guys' thoughts on a social media? I guess we can call Gilly an icon at this point. The guy brought him out onto the field in the Super Bowl just about. What are your thoughts on someone like Gilly going toe-to-toe with a former All-Pro quarterback?
Dude, I absolutely love it. That's just the fierceness of our city. Gilly's on another level as well. He's got the money and the credibility and the backing to be able to go at a person of that stature. I'd get laughed at if I did it. But
we're not quite as relevant, I would say, as someone like Gilly. You don't have the followers, however. So our voice isn't heard as much as him. Right. But Fuge, what are your thoughts on the whole thing?
I think Gilly's just, sticking up for Jalen, the MVP, and showing Philly love and support. As we all do. We all, everybody from Philly backs each other.
Yep. Yep.
We could rip the teams to shreds when they suck, which they deserve, but there's no bigger, better fans than Philly fans, period.
Absolutely. Except, can I?
As the song goes, no one likes us and we don't care. Go ahead, Alan. Oh, yeah.
Except for them people who are in Yankee Stadium. Did y'all hear about that?
Shoot. No, I didn't.
No, the couple. I don't know if it was Saturday or Sunday, whenever, I can't remember exactly what day they played there but there's this couple, dude wearing a Phillies hat, pleasuring his female campaign.
Oh my, yes. Okay. So
yes.
that was at that game. Well, we'll keep it PG for all the young ones watching out there, because from what I understand, there might be a young one or two watching the show.
Yes.
Hey, I guess you got to do what you got to do, right?
Yeah, but I mean, man, like, the time and the place is one. Like, it's one thing. Like, dude, especially now, there's so many cameras. There's now somebody's got that. Now somebody's selling that.
A million %. I saw the video earlier today. Our fine producer, who unfortunately is a Commanders fan, showed me that video, and I couldn't believe it myself. You got
bathrooms in them places. Like, you can go to a family bathroom. You know what I mean? And like,
you got people out there
right there in the stands for everyone to see you.
You got people out here at Coldplay concerts ducking the kiss cam, and this guy goes, "Hold my beer," basically.
Yeah. I'm gonna raise you. Jeez, man.
I'll see your kiss cam. I don't even. I gotta keep it. I usually, I gotta keep it PG.
We are hardcore, passionate fans, right? But like,
there's some passion.
Yeah, they were definitely showing passion. Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. So
my bad. Let's move on.
As Rob Ellis from WIP would say, let's get it back to the Eagles here.
There we go.
So, we're 11 days away from the first preseason game. Do you guys still get fired up for preseason games? At least the first one. Is the first one still? So I don't know. I'll go first. I'll go first on this, and I'll describe myself. I leading up to the first preseason game, I am like a ravenous beast, and all's I want it. I need it. It's not a want. It's a need. I need it. And then 3 plays in, I'm getting caught back up on Stranger Things, because the new season's finally coming out. Like 3 plays in, I'm like, yep, preseason football, I'm good. It got me to where I needed. Alan, I'll go with you first. How are you with? And we'll just take the first preseason game, because everybody knows it's a junk drawer after that.
Yeah,
but the first preseason game, do you still get fired up like you used to?
I get fired up because actually this year we actually have 2 home preseason games. So I'll get to take my 2 youngest, who are fans of the Eagles, but don't really have enough attention span to watch the entire game. It's a perfect opportunity for me to get them down there into the atmosphere, so yeah, I get fired up for it. I like to watch some of the rookies who are still trying to get a spot, maybe just some other guys, and be like, wow, look at that guy. Like, I hope he makes a team type stuff, but seeing it in person, always helps.
Fooch, how about you? You still get fired up for preseason football, Mike Fooch?
Oh, absolutely. It's Christmas. It's Christmas from now till on the Super Bowl. You know why? Because, just to piggyback off what Alan said, the rookies, you want to see what guys are, who's going to make the team, what battles are going to go on. We're not down at training camp, so, like I said, that'll be on at 9. So he's got everything covered from A to Z.
That's beautiful.
Believe me, I'd kill to be down there at least, just to see the ambiance of training camp. It's not like, Lehigh and Westchester all 2 days making a day out of it.
Right.
I mean, yes, packing a couple of hoagies and rolling down there to Lehigh, heading out at like 6 a.m.
Yeah, exactly.
Just it was always great just to go back, up to Lehigh. It was, you would make a day of it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Leave like, I don't know, 7 in the morning.
I was out the door 5:30 a.m. Because you hit that one road going into Lehigh, and you're just
one road in and one road out.
One road in, one road out. You just sit terrible. But so when they moved to and I have a training camp question. We'll get further on in the show. But when living in the city over the last few years, I would be the creep that parked in the CVS parking lot on Broad Street and walking up Broad, like looking through the bushes, because you know how they got, they're like them little pine trees.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. So one day, no lie, and nothing was seen here, but I'm looking through the fence. And over comes Chris Long and goes to start taking a leak. And I'm like, oh, shit, Chris Long. And he's like, oh, sorry, buddy.
I've heard this story, so I know it's true. I've heard it before. So,
yes. Finally admitting it, huh?
Listen, nothing was seen, and you couldn't prove anything even if you wanted to. So there's that.
There you go. Beautiful.
But he, I was like, don't you guys have bathrooms? He's like, it's quicker to go here. I literally said, don't you guys have bathrooms? Well, said it's quicker to go over here. I was like, all right, man, go Birds. Thanks for the Super Bowl, because it was the following season.
When a guy's got to go, a guy's got to go.
I get it.
You got to do what you got to do.
You got to do what you got to do. But
it don't matter flat out. Doesn't matter how much water or how many cocktails you have in when you have to go.
Believe me,
you gotta go.
I can put them away with
I know you can.
As good as anybody I've ever met, as good as any human being that I've ever walked next to on this planet. But I have the bladder of like a friggin' raccoon. It's like this big, and the second I go, I'm done. I'm just done. I'm up every 2 minutes for the rest of the night.
Yep, for the entirety.
Tampa Bay Wild Card South House. 3 years ago.
How many times, Fooch? How many times did I go to the bathroom? Like we were doing a live remote.
I
know you weren't clocking me.
I was responsible for myself.
I know you weren't clocking me going to the bathroom. It's more metaphorical, you know what I mean? But yes, I go quite often. Anyway, let's move into a little training camp here. Jahad Campbell has already taken some first team snaps. What are your expectations of him this season? Obviously, your top pick in this past year's draft. Alan, we'll go with you. What are your kind of expectations for this young man?
I like the fact that he is long and lanky, right? He can. I think he's going to be a contributor from day one. I think Vic is going to get the most out of him, like he did last year with Coop and Quignon, I hope this kid can be a stud. I just can't wait to see what he does on the field.
And I'll be interested. That'll be one of the when Ed comes on. That'll be one of the questions that from our questions that I ask him. Fuge, what are your thoughts on Jahad Campbell so far? From anything that you've heard.
I mean, he wasn't supposed to really step on on the field till August, they said. But I guess he's ahead of schedule, and sky's the limit with him. I feel bad for Nakobe Dean because I'm afraid Nakobe Dean's going to lose his job to Campbell over time.
Oh man, that'll be a good question to ask Ed Kracz as well when he comes on.
That's actually a great thing that you brought up there, Fuge, because I love Nakobe,
Sure.
but with that
Oh,
shoulder
yeah, same here.
and with that shoulder and I know he's working out and he's close to coming back, but he's not back, right? And so
Well, I
yeah,
think he-
yeah,
I think
yeah.
he's-
You almost as a coach, you almost okay. Well, we'll
Well,
let you get back, but we got to roll with this kid.
Right.
Well,
And
with that torn patella tendon, I mean, now it's another question to ask Ed when he comes on. You know,
Yeah.
they projected Nakobe Dean to be out the first month.
which so that brings me, you guys kind of spoon fed me right into my next line of questioning. Speaking of the linebackers, of the core, who's going to take the biggest step forward this year? Looking at Trot Jr., we'll say Trot Jr., Bourne, and Dean. And I guess Dean's going to kind of be, hinging on how he comes back from surgery and from, this injury.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
mean, if I'm not mistaken, I think Nakobe Dean is on the last year of his rookie contract, I believe.
Okay.
So, hopefully
Google
for
face it. Let us know.
yeah, we'll get in there and Google face it. If
Yeah.
I Google face it, I'll just be like this the whole time, and then it won't.
Yeah. That's why I said somebody else.
I know.
But yeah.
Let's go. Zach Bourne and Trot. From what I hear, the linebackers as a unit are looking pretty solid this year thus far. I mean, we're only 4 days into camp, but small sample size.
Yeah, I've heard the same. I think I shared something on the Pattison Ave Phanatics page on the Facebook page that Trot Jr. is calling plays alongside Zach Bourne. So I don't know if it's second team or first team or whatever, but if he's taking on that responsibility, I think it's going to be Trot Jr. to take the biggest step forward.
Well, I mean, and his old man was the like linebacker when he played.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
if he's cerebral enough to be able to take on that responsibility, Fuge, what are you thinking about the linebackers so far in camp?
I think it's got a lot of jobs that are, a lot of competition. I mean, you got some depth there. I mean, my thing is, I just think with that defensive line, hopefully there's enough, edge rushers. I know who's the guy the Raiders just let go of? Christian somebody.
Yes.
And there was a rumor out there that I think 97.5 they were talking about, somebody Howie could bring in, but I think no, I don't want to jump the gun. I don't know what other questions you had.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
My main concern is the second D-back position, whether it's going to be Kaylee Ringo's to lose or, Dory Jackson, nice pickup by Howie.
Yep.
I think the Eagles were looking to tried to get a Dory Jackson a couple years ago, but then he went to the Giants. So, I think that's another, definitely on defense. That's another competition position.
And we need a safety, unless we're going to move DeJean back with Blankenship, because I don't know who else is going to play the safety. I don't know that. So I don't know.
I don't know. I have a feeling that what's his name? Second.
Even Maddox?
Not Matt.
Not Maddox.
I think Makuba's going to step in. I just have a feeling.
Good.
I think he's going to bring a swag to this secondary, without CJ, GJ, but I think Makuba may step right in nice and early. He's going to he just signed, so, I know he's on the field now, so I think he wants to make a name for himself.
That would be incredible if you can get ready-made D-backs for sure. Staying on the defensive side of the ball, how about Jordan Davis showing up almost 30 pounds down to training camp? This is the last couple of seasons. This is what people were wanting to see. And I mean, the guy is down almost 30 pounds and he's weighing in at 330. That's ridiculous.
Well, I remember the last
It's
couple
all
of years
muscle.
he's lost weight.
It's all
but-
muscle. The man did his work, man. I'm sorry, Food. I didn't mean to cut you off, but yeah, keep
No,
going.
you're
keep going.
good. No, I'm down on Jordan Davis and Ali Crow. You know how he picked up this $12 million option this year, but the man better come in and play with vengeance. I mean, because Jalen Carter flat out is going to get the bag 45, 47, 50 plus million. So
absolutely.
I mean, if you were to put Jalen Carter's heart in Jordan Davis, that'd be two goddamn wrecking balls right there in the middle.
Yeah.
Now we're getting into that Rudy Rudiger. If I could put your heart in half of my players' bodies,
I'm not discussing Notre Dame.
We'd be on.
No, you just led me into that fine segue. I appreciate that, folks.
Just put your eyebrows on the line.
better get out of here with that. For anybody who happens to be tuning in and is new to the Pattison Ave Phanatics Show, somehow during the playoffs last year, my eyebrows were put on the line to be shaved off. Not by me, but every week it was expected. If the Eagles were to lose, my eyebrows were gone.
No, I was more so than Notre Dame.
I know, but I'm just going into the eyebrow thing in general. And thankfully, the Eagles came through in fine fashion and saved me from a facial hair faux pas for sure.
No, that was more the Notre Dame with the college.
Was that Notre Dame or was that Eagles last year?
No, it was Notre Dame.
All right. Well, I don't know what the hell I'm talking about.
I was trying to persuade you into putting your eyebrows on the line.
That's true.
But I know you didn't have the goal to do it.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Hold on. We have a fine friend of the show. His name is Sean Was. Okay, and I'm going to bring this up, and this is my buddy Sean Was. And he put his eyebrows on the line for a just like a regular season game, and it didn't work out too well for Sean's eyebrows. So, but I believe they're back from the hiatus that they were on, which is excellent.
Beautiful.
So you're next.
But let's absolutely not. I have red facial hair. I have blonde eyebrows. I have reddish brown hair. I am a mess. I can't.
So you're saying you already don't have eyebrows? They're clear-descent. They just see through.
You're a real life leprechaun. With the red hair.
I saw a rainbow the other day, and I was thinking about going and chasing a pot of gold.
When do you let the red beard grow real long?
There you go.
It's in the works, but not on these 102 heat index days. I don't think so. But as we get into fall, maybe I let the beard grow and maybe grow it as a rally. No.
You'd be the red bearded Santa.
Food. Lay off my eyebrows. This is terrible.
I'll have to talk to Norm about cutting a deal with him.
Well, listen. Let's jump back to Jalen Carter here because you had brought him up.
You had to bring Notre Dame up.
I did. I'll always bring up Notre Dame. Go Irish, okay? Alan, go Irish. He's with me. I know there's people watching this program right now that go Irish. And you hold on. All right, hold on, Penn Staters. All right, listen,
dude. I come from a Penn State house. Listen. I turned out an Irish fan. Trust me.
So let's talk about this real quick. Since we're it's my show, our show, we're allowed to take it off the rails if we want.
Whatever, let's go.
You Penn State people out there were on me all season last year, and it's okay. And it's okay that you guys didn't win in the college football play. It's okay. And I look forward to this season. I look forward to smacking some more people in the mouth. I look forward to winning the national championship this year. See, somebody just hearted it as I was talking about the Irish. I don't know who it was, but look, somebody's checking in on the text line. Hold on one second. Brian Garrity. I would have bet eyebrows last Monday if I would have known. Brian Garrity was the coach of the team that our Deals team lost to in the championship game. Congratulations to Brian Garrity and the Hess team.
Absolutely.
For sure.
Absolutely, yeah. Congrats to your boys too, man.
Yo, my brother from another mother, Paul Spencer, checking in. Cowboys dodged a bullet. Tyrone Goodness speculated ACL. Only broke about 5 to 6 weeks. What's up, fellas? Great show. Go Rudy. Go Notre Dame. Thank you. Now, your love for Notre Dame, Paul Spencer, almost completely absolves you of your fandom for the Dallas Cowboys. And
I don't know if that's bad.
I'm chairman on this board. I can make this. And I notice I said almost.
Decisions.
I notice I said almost because no, it doesn't. And we'll see you a couple Thursdays from now, brother. But
that's rough.
So let's jump back into Jalen Carter here and jump off my eyebrows.
Yeah.
Jalen Carter, is he going to improve on last year's stats this year? Is there enough depth on that line to get him away from these 2-on-1s and potential 3-on-1s to let this kid eat?
I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, he's just coming in as he gets older, he's only going to get better, I believe.
Nah, if he could take another step forward this year, Penn State sucks. I'm old, but I think Notre Dame said goodbye to Penn State last year. You are old, so am I, and yes, they did say goodbye to Penn State. But to watch this kid's progression over the last couple of years, I mean, he's already a Super Bowl champion.
Yep.
If he takes another step forward, he's probably one more step for this kid, and he's the best in the NFL if he's not already at his position.
Absolutely. I think him coming into camp ripped and in shape, ready to go, just proves how much he wants to do it. Yeah. Hopefully he can. I think he can. And with him next to Jordan Davis, I mean, it's just insane. It's insane.
So
the defensive line is just a killer.
Yeah, it's under Fangio again. We've talked about this on several other shows. Vic Fangio is the reason they allow. I truly believe Vic Fangio is the reason for more than one reason. I think there was guys that were disruptive to what he was trying to do, that they utilized them for their talent, and then there were guys that they were okay with allowing to walk because of their D coordinator and what he brings to the table. I am a firm believer in Vic Fangio.
I totally agree with that. Absolutely. Yeah. He dude. We saw what he did last year. Zach Vaughn, right? An edge rusher, moved to middle, right? He moved to the middle, right? Dude.
Yeah.
He took a special teams player and made him basically an all-star middle linebacker, or Pro Bowl, whatever caliber, defensive player. It's absolutely insane. So, can't wait to see how our defense looks. I also can't wait to see what the new offense is going to look like.
It's another question.
I can't wait to see that too. Are we going to go run heavy? Are we going to pass a little more? Are we going to do a little whatever? I don't know. I can't wait to see actually what the offense comes to, because Patillo's been here and he knows Jalen's quirks and things, and they've worked together. So that's interested to see what they come up with. That's the big
thing as far as this offense is going to go this year. Does Patillo veer hard away from last year's offensive scheme? Did he in the offseason sit down with Jalen and say, what do you want to keep? I need to bring my own ideas into this, but I want you to be comfortable. I mean, this is every season with Jalen Hurts. Every single season. It's something's changing for this guy, and he's only been to 2 Super Bowls and won one in 4 or 5 years. I'm sorry. So,
and he should have won. He should have won both of them.
Yes, he should have.
Should have won both of them. So,
if you could get an MVP for being a quarterback that lost, he would have got it.
Yeah, damn right he would have. He outplayed Mahomes in that game, and he outplayed him in his last one. So,
absolutely.
Should have
Well,
been
look.
the MVP anyway.
Damn right.
You're absolutely right. He should have. Well, guys, before we continue on with the show, I want to give a shout out to our sponsor today. This week's Pattison Ave Phanatics Show is brought to you by Pilgaroo Brewing. Celebrating their 4-year anniversary, Pilgaroo offers an extensive list of their in-house brewed beers. If you're in the Pottsville area, stop in and tell them the guys from the Pattison Ave Phanatics and Cole County Entertainment sent you. That's Pilgaroo Brewing, 213 North Center Street, Pottsville, PA, 570-573-1989.
Beautiful.
So let me say one more thing about Pilgaroo. Us as a network, Cole County Entertainment had the opportunity to go out to the 10th annual Brew Fest, which was held on Center Street in downtown Pottsville this past weekend. We went out, we interviewed a bunch of vendors, talked to a bunch of incredible breweries, Pilgaroo being one of them. They were one of the spotlight ones. There some of what they had to offer there. There was a strawberry rhubarb beer that was off the charts. Off the chart. If I wasn't doing interviews, I would have been draped under that tap, just holding it into my mouth. Incredible.
I was going to say it sounds like a beer I could have, but I don't know if I could continuously drink it all day. It sounds phenomenal though. Phenomenal.
Our gentleman, our guest is in studio, so we'll bring him out here. Our guest tonight has been covering the Eagles full time for the last decade and has been covering Philly sports in general since 1996. Let's welcome Ed Kracz to the program. Ed, thanks for jumping on with us.
Ed, thank you.
Yeah. Hey guys, how's everybody?
Good.
Good.
How you doing? Welcome.
Good.
Good.
So we're just kicking around some training camp stuff, Ed. I know you're down there. What have you been seeing from the guys this week? How are things looking down there?
They practice fast. They get a lot of work done. Today obviously was very, very hot. It's going to be that way tomorrow. Tomorrow they're going to put the full pads on. They moved practice up an hour because of the heat. They're going to go at 9 instead of the 10 o'clock. And today they put shoulder pads on, and it's always good when you start to put pads on these guys. You can start to evaluate the players in the trenches. But up until then, I thought Jalen Hurts looks good. Kind of the offense looks a lot like it did last year when Kellen Moore was here. Of course, now you have Kevin Patullo calling the shots, and the offense looks, pretty much the same. I'm sure he's got a few things that we'll see that might be a little different, but the offense looks pretty good. I think the defense really looked good on Saturday. I think it won the day over the offense, and I thought maybe today you could probably give a little edge to the defense too. So I think they're getting a lot of work done. I think they look fine, and it's early, so we'll see how things go from here.
So I was talking to the fellas. Now we're hearing Jod Campbell's taking some first-team reps. How's he looking out there from what you've seen so far?
Yeah, he's been limited, but he has taken some, a couple first-team reps, and, that's what a first-round draft pick's supposed to do, right? You're supposed to get on the field early, and I think he will if he can, become a full participant and, maybe get into some of these games coming up. You have the Bengals in a week from Thursday, and then you have the Browns. The Browns are coming here for a joint practice and before that game, and you get a lot of work done then. I'm sure Campbell will play a big role in that. But yeah, I think there'll be a role for him. Will he start when the Cowboys come on September 4th? I don't know. He might. I think he'll have more like sub packages, maybe bring him in for some snaps, kind of let him get his feet wet. But who knows? We have another month to go, and he could really begin to rise. As it is now, you can see the athleticism that he has. I mean, you watch him when he covers players on 7-on-7, he keeps up with them. He's very fast, sideline to sideline. So, you can see the athleticism. You can see why the Eagles loved him and took him in the first round.
Ed, let me ask you a question. Did you cover the Eagles at all back when they were up at Lehigh for training camp?
I was like the backup guy back then. I was with the Courier Times, and Reuben Frank was the full-time writer, and I would fill in for Rube sometimes. So yeah, I got up to Lehigh a few times for practices.
Is there a different dynamic covering them up there at Lehigh? We know, the two-a-days and kind of the trek that you had to make up there in order to do that. As far as the accessibility down at NovaCare, is it just like night and day between the two?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, it almost seems like there's even fewer fans at these practices this year than there were, in previous years when it moved back to NovaCare. I don't know if that's accurate or not, but the crowds don't seem as heavy as in the past at these things. And of course, at Lehigh, it was like going to a small college football game. You had 7,000 fans there. You had access to the whole practice. There were two-a-days back then. Access to the players, as far as a reporter goes, was better. Now that the Eagles kind of, and other teams do this too, but they bring the players out that they want you to interview. You can't just grab guys off the field and pursue a story for a guy that maybe had a good day, and they're not going to bring him to the media tent or make him available off the field. So things are definitely different in availability and with the fans.
Yeah, they do. The Eagles do have an open practice coming up. You have to purchase tickets for inside the stadium, but that's just I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's a fun thing. I mean, again, it's a big stadium. It's not up close like you were at Lehigh. You were right there, really, and even the select few fans that come to NovaCare, they're right on the sidelines, and if you're lucky enough, they'll be practicing right in front of you, and you'll get a really good feel for what goes on, the words, the players, the communication that takes place, the hitting, sometimes just the speed of the game. But I think the open practice at the Link is a fun experience, and you can pay a little extra and you can get an on the field experience too, so you can be down there seeing the players up close. But I think it's a fun night for fans to come out and check it out, and all the proceeds, of course, go to the Eagles Autism Foundation, which is a good cause, and it gives fans a chance. Unfortunately, it's only one to kind of see exactly how practices have been going and who has looked good and maybe who hasn't.
And
right.
as far as the competition this year, what do you think is the biggest competition on both sides of the ball?
Yeah, to me, of course, you have the starting cornerback spot, Keely Ringo or Adoree Jackson. To me, it looks like Adoree Jackson's ahead in that battle to start opposite Quinion Mitchell. But, listen, Adoree Jackson's been in this league. This is his 9th season. He's played left corner, right corner. He's been in press and man and zone. I mean, he's seen it all. So, maybe that is to be expected that he's ahead. But I'm a little disappointed in Ringo. Had a good spring and looked really good in the mini camp, their final practice before they broke for summer. I thought maybe he'd build on that and come into camp and really take off, but that really hasn't happened. So that's a concern. But that's a competition. I think the right guard spot was supposed to be a competition. Right now, it looks like Tyler Steen's job, but it's been a bit of a struggle for Steen in these early days. So who's next? Maybe Matt Pryor, veteran, been here, drafted in 2018, left the team, I think he got traded to Indianapolis after a few years, and he's back now. He could probably be that second guy if Steen were to falter. And you look at maybe some of the defensive tackle spots. Moro Ajomo to me has just been an absolute beast. To me, he's been the best player in these first 4 days. He's not overly big, 6'3", 292, not that prototypical defensive tackle, but man, the guy is fast, he's strong, and he's making life.
From the Giants, correct? Did he come from the Giants?
Ajomo, no, he was drafted in the 7th round 2 years ago. I mean, he's a 23-year-old kid that, came up. Maybe you're thinking of Aziz Ojulari. He came from the Giants.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah. He's on the edge. But yeah, I think defensive tackle, probably there's some competition. Who's going to be after Carter and Davis and Ajomo? Who's going to be that 4th, 5th, maybe 6th guy? Can it be, someone like a Thomas Booker or a Gabe Hall or a Byron Young? I mean, there's competition there. So yeah, there's some spots that there's competition, no doubt. At cornerback, who's going to be the backup cornerbacks? Safety, is Sidney Brown going to start, or is Drew Makuba, the 2nd-round pick, the rookie from Texas? He suffered a shoulder injury Saturday. He did not practice today. You hope he can get back on the field soon, but safety is also a spot where there's competition.
Ed,
Go ahead, Alan. I'm sorry. No, go ahead.
So how I know we're not too far into this training camp, but how's Jalen looking up close at?
Jalen Hurts.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
I got-
he's looking pretty good, I think. I mean, he threw his first pick today in camp, which stopped the presses. He didn't have to throw his first pick last year until the last day when Darius Slay got him. But I think today was more of a product of maybe just a little miscommunication between him and A.J. Brown. He was going for Brown deep on the right sideline. It looked to me like Brown thought that he should just run a go route, like he slowed down. He saw Jalen was coming to him, and then he sped up, like maybe he thought Jalen was just going to launch it, 50 yards in the air or whatever. And I think Jalen thought that A.J. was going to kind of slow up, and he did slow up, and he threw a back shoulder. So the ball was underthrown, and Quinion Mitchell was there for the interception. Easy pick for the second-year cornerback. But to me, I think that was just miscommunication. But other than that, I think Hurts is, very few balls have hit the ground when he's thrown it. He's very accurate. He's rolling out, making nice throws on the run. But again, once full pads come on tomorrow, I know you can't hit the quarterback, but we'll see how those defensive linemen up their game when the pads are on.
Yeah,
Ed,
full rush going.
Yeah.
Ed, as far as Kevin Patullo is concerned, do you see him being pass first or run first?
Well, it's hard to say. I think it'll be game dependent. I think they'll game plan and they'll see what they can do against the team and then try to exploit it. But, I think this year teams are really obviously going to be very cognizant of Saquon Barkley and this offensive line that can, the guy had 2,000 yards. So they're going to try to shut him down. And the Chiefs had him locked down pretty good in the Super Bowl. He didn't do anything. So they had to turn to the passing game. So I think you're going to see maybe some more passing from Jalen Hurts this year just because teams are really, really going to stack the box on Saquon in that run game. And Saquon's going to have to beat him through the air. And I fully expect he can do that. I mean, Devontae Smith is having a great camp. A.J. Brown's having a great camp. I mean, these are two of the best receivers in football. And Dallas Goedert, he's been a monster. As much as I've liked what Moro Ajomo has done on defense, Dallas Goedert just looks fantastic. And if he can stay healthy, he's playing for a contract. He came back on a 1 year kind of a low ball number at $10.5 million with the chance to earn a couple million in incentives. But man, he's looked really good. So Hurts has all the weapons, and I think he has the confidence. I think not that he never lacked the confidence, but he's the reigning Super Bowl MVP now. I mean, that really to him, he's at the top of the mountain, and I think he wants to stay there. And I think he has even more belief in himself that he can get the job done and lead this team. And if he has to pass more to do it, so be it.
Yeah, I totally agree with that statement, 100%.
So
my quarterback number one.
Go ahead, Fuge.
I was going to say, do you think with all the moves Howie made in the offseason, how would you compare the depth this year as opposed to last year?
Well, Fangio, the DC, was asked about that, and he brought up a good point. He said, "Listen, we had a lot of question marks about our depth last year at this time. We didn't know what Zach Bond would be. We didn't know that Oren Burks would be, the guy that could step in for Nakobe Dean when he got hurt in the playoffs, and they wouldn't miss a beat. They didn't know much about the defense, and it's the same this year. Is you don't know what that depth is going to look like until you start getting deeper into August." Preseason games are going to be big to see what you have in backup roles, and that preseason gets here a week from Thursday. I can't believe that still. Like the Bengals will be here August 7th. I mean, that's really early. But that's when you're going to start to learn about the depth of this team is a couple weeks from now. I think Fuge, one of the areas maybe the depth isn't there is cornerback. I'm a little worried about cornerback. Like after Ringo, who's been average, Rodgers and Mitchell, I don't know. I don't know what's there. Could it be a situation where Cooper DeJean would be a great cornerback? But I think they want to play him in different spots. They want to play him in the slot. He's played safety. I think they like Cooper DeJean at safety. So they would really have to be desperate to move Cooper DeJean to the outside, I think. But he could play the heck out of that position. But cornerback's a spot where I'm not real sure of the depth at this stage. And even at the edge, like can Aziz Ojulari and Josh Uche, can they be the answer on the edge to provide depth? I don't know. I mean, Ojulari hasn't stayed healthy for a season in most of his career. So, his goal is to play all 17 games. He talked about that today. Can he do it? I don't know, but I'm not sure they have a lot of depth at the edge. So they need guys to stay healthy. They need Hunt and Smith to excel, which I think they'll be very good.
Mhm.
But after that, what do you got?
Right.
Do you think the loss of C.J. Garner-Johnson with his swag is going to hurt the secondary?
Well, yeah, I don't know about the swag. I think what's going to hurt them in the secondary is the guy was a ball hawk. I mean, he had 6 interceptions. I mean, he's been here twice, and he had 6 picks both times. So, where's that going to come from? Reed Blankenship is very good at intercepting the ball, too. He's got a lot of interceptions in his career. But then you're looking at maybe Sidney Brown, who could be starting, or Makuba, who is a rookie. Justin Simmons is still sitting out there, I think. The veteran safety who's played for Fangio when Fangio was the coach in Denver. I mean, I guess he's on speed dial if you need him, but that's where I think you're going to miss CJ most is in that ability to take the football away. I think this team has plenty of swag. Jalen Carter, you can't tell me that guy doesn't have swag.
He loves it. He loves to throw it around.
Yeah. And listen, I think, I think Reed Blankenship can be a pretty good leader back there.
Yep.
I don't. Maybe they missed the swag a little, but I think it's the ability to turn the football over that they're going to miss most from CJ.
Right.
Yeah, do you think Reed is ready to step in and be that safety, or do we? I mean, we still need help at the position, but if the rookie is doing well, we can interchange. If we can almost make them interchangeable. Do you think that would be not a solve all, but at least a place to start at the safety position?
Yeah, well, again, Cooper DeJean has been getting reps at safety, so you might mix him in there as well, but I don't know who plays the slot when that happens. They talk about Mac McWilliams, the rookie 5th-round pick. Haven't seen him do a whole lot. But yeah, Cooper DeJean and I think Reed is ready. I mean, he's been on this team now for 4 years. I think this is his 4th season. Yeah. Very good at intercepting passes. But yeah, I think he'll be a good leader on the back end. He's only 25. The question with Reed is, I mean, this is the last year of his contract. So I don't know if the Eagles are going to get a deal done with him before the season. Or wait till after the season, or just let him walk and put Cooper DeJean back there with this rookie Makuba next year. But that's way down the road. But yeah, I think this year Reed will be fine.
And a couple more for you, and then we'll let you go. And again, thank you for jumping on here with us today. Sure. Let me this team. Now you've seen this team in many camps prior to this one. Are they, as Coach Sirianni would say, are they smelling the perfume, or are they drinking the perfume of being Super Bowl champions? Are you worried that there's going to be a little lull, or are these guys highly motivated individuals?
Well, you've heard them talk about, listen, you heard Jordan Mailata probably say, we're not defending champs of anything. This is a new team, a new year. Jalen Hurts never took his championship ring out of the box. He's going to wait to do that. Saquon Barkley's like, yeah, it was a cool moment, but, I knew I had to go to practice in 3 days after they got their ring. So it seems to me, at least they're talking the talk of, hey, that's behind us. We're going to forget about that. And this is a new year and a new team. Basically, we're 0-0, all the cliches. Yep. But it's one thing to say it. It's another thing to walk it. You can talk it, but can you walk it? And right. We'll see. I thought Lane Johnson made a good point. Obviously he's been on 2 Super Bowl winning teams, and he played in the 3rd with the Eagles. And he said that, in 2018, when they won the Super Bowl in 2017, he said, we got off to a slow start and we finished strong, but they didn't get back to the Super Bowl. And then, in 2023, when they went to the Super Bowl and lost, he said, we got off to a great start. We're 10-1. And then we, lost 6 of our last 7 games. So we started great, but finished poorly. So, what are we going to do this year? You hope that they start strong and they stay strong. And, there's going to be valleys and dips and this and that, but, it's, adversity strikes every season. So it's how they deal with it. And you can't be thinking about the Super Bowl in July. That's for sure. You better be thinking about how you're going to get better day in and day out. And I think they are. I think they do have that focus.
That's great to hear. Go ahead, Fuge. Were you about to say something?
Yeah, I was going to ask Ed. Can you touch on the Nakobe Dean situation as far as him, like his timetable of coming off the patella tendon injury.
Yeah, I wish I knew the timetable. I don't. I would hope maybe by October, early October he's back. He's out there every single day, talks to his player, to his teammates. He's a really good leader. It's a shame that what happened with that situation. He was having a fantastic year. His career is ready to take off, and now it's in limbo. We don't know when he's coming back. It's his last year of his contract. What are the Eagles going to do? How much value does he have across the league if, he can't get back, or if he comes back and he isn't the same player? So there's a lot of questions with Nakobe. He's taking the old proverbial mental reps,
Right.
as they always talk about, but he can't get out there and do anything physically. My hope, and I think the Eagles hope, that he'll miss maybe, the first quarter of the season, the first 4 games in September perhaps, and hopefully be ready to come back in October. But
I hope so. I hope
yeah,
so. I'm in the Kobe fan, so I hope so.
Yeah, he's a really nice guy. You hate to see that happen to someone like that, but it's the nature of the sport.
Is Nolan Smith fully recovered from his injury in the Super Bowl?
Yeah, he seems to be. He's been full go all 4 days. Doesn't seem to have any limitations. If there was any hint of a limitation, the Eagles wouldn't be have him out there. He'd be limited, like Jalen Carter and Kenyon Green and Jihad Campbell. But yeah, Nolan's been full go, and looks good.
Awesome. Well, Ed, thank you so much for giving us some of your time, my friend. We'll let you get out of here, but thank you for jumping on the Pattison Ave Phanatics Show with us.
Yeah, my pleasure, guys. Thanks for having me.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
appreciate it. Thank you so much.
All right,
All
see
right.
ya.
Have a
See
good
ya.
one.
Fuji, I know you said you got to cut out of here a little early, so I'll hit you guys with one more question. Awesome having Ed on. Fuji
Yes,
always
it was.
gets
Yes, it was.
Fuji always gets the best guests. But that's what I wanted to ask you guys real
Okay.
quick. My last question for you guys: are you worried that this team is going to have a hangover from the Super Bowl season, or do you think, kind of like to what Ed said, they seem to be focused, they seem to be ready to go? Fuji, I'll go with you first.
I don't want to say hangover, but like Ed touched on, and a lot of people to me don't seem there's an issue, but I think there's an issue on the edges. I don't think they have enough depth. I mean, BG retired. You lost Milton Williams. No. Just the guys that they lost. I mean, can Ojulari step in? I mean, Jalix Hunt. There's a lot of, that's why I asked that about, the depth of this team. And, obviously Vic can work his magic, strong points, weak points of the guys he has. But, I just think they need some depth on that defensive end position.
Absolutely. And Stumpy was asking, do we talk about the Phillies? We do, but we had a beat writer for the Eagles on stuff, so we wanted to jump in there. Norm says, I hope no hangover week 1. F Dallas. Absolutely.
Yes. Thank you. He stole the words right out of my mouth. We have to come out week 1 against Dallas and just have that same mentality. Let me frame it down. BTA, right? Right. We have to have that same mentality. BTA, the first week of the season, and keep that rolling. Will we win some? Are we going to lose some? Yes. We have the hardest schedule, I think, out of everyone.
Fourth hardest schedule in the NFL.
Yeah. So I mean, we're going to have the gauntlet again, just like last year. We were worried about the 4-game gauntlet.
The proverbial gauntlet. Yes.
Yeah. So we're going to have all those challenges again. But week one, we got to BTA all the way.
Belt to ass.
Well, if you remember last year, after that Tampa Bay loss, I mean, this team didn't get out of the gate.
Yeah.
I mean, you lost to Atlanta, which you should have won.
Yes.
You got your asses handed to you by Tampa Bay.
Yep.
They came out of the gate stumbling, and I'm sure a lot of people were waiting for the hammer to drop on Sirianni. I mean, that was the talk.
Yeah,
that was the talk
was the
time
tone.
last year.
That was the
It
tone.
was.
I mean,
That was the tone.
I mean,
3 weeks into the season,
well,
you gotta go.
we were all calling it. I know
Yep.
I was.
I don't know. And here we are. The guy's been to 2 Super Bowls, won 1.
Oh,
You know,
Should have won 2.
Should have won 2. Was right there knocking on the door to win 2. Well, look, Fuji, I know you got to cut out. Show's almost over anyway, folks. So I want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight. And as always, for Alan Angelcavage, for Mike Fuji, I'm Tom Kelly. This is Pattison Ave Phanatics Show, and we're out of here.